Good evening. Tonight I want to talk to you about our country, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, our place in it, and the critical times we are facing. We are today at a defining moment in our history. We want the world to know that we are a peaceful people, a loving people. We love everybody who loves us, but we do not love anybody who do not love us. We are non-violent with those who are not violent with us. We refuse to pretend to not know which of our neighbors have a long-standing history of overt violence and senseless conflicts. Congo is one of the most ethnically diverse nations in the world. We have over 500 tribes speaking 2,000 dialects that have lived in sustainable peace for generations. We know which of our neighbors are capable of burying babies alive, hack pregnant women with machetes. We know who you are. Never again are we going to allow you to export your perverted practices of oppression. We have loved you. We opened our hearts and our homes to you when you needed us most. But in exchange, all we got was death and destruction. At the very peak of his iron grip, Mobutu seemed by far the worst Congo had to offer. But even he didn't kill us like your son Joseph Kabila has done. Even he couldn't pillage our resources in 32 years of reign the way your son has done in 10. We will always respect you as a neighbor, because unlike you, we are not interested in revenge. We want you to send us the criminal you are protecting from us. Kunda Batware is ours to judge. He needs to stand trial for the 6-year-old Congolese girl he savagely raped. To each his own, they say. To America, Bin Laden. To Congo, Laurent Kunda. My fellow Congolese, history calls upon us to act. As we brace ourselves for the upcoming elections, it is imperative that we all participate. It is a fact that we, Congolese living in foreign lands, are playing a pivotal role in our country's economy. Today, the will of our people is clear. The election of our leader is now inevitable. However, like so many times before, our hopes and aspirations are in direct conflict with those of our enemy. Like back in those days, the world stood in silence as 8 million men, women, and children of the Congo were slaughtered. Like back in those days, the world has said nothing, while our mothers, our sisters, our wives and daughters are being raped every hour of every day. But this time, we will do something about it, because it is our historic responsibility and our God-given right to stand up to the face of evil. While Kabila continues to kill relentlessly, I call on you to act. The injustices that have been inflicted upon our people are criminal. Let us not accept the blatant mockery that Hippolyte Kanambe, wrongly known as Joseph Kabila, represents. Because we know in our hearts that no son of the Congo will have culpably allowed the massacre of 13% of our population. There are those who do and those who watch it done. Far too long have we stood by and looked as our people and our resources were decimated. I am here to tell you today that this election is where this repugnant charade ends. We deserve to choose our leader, the only one we still believe in. One who is too old to enjoy the riches, the corruption. One who's too old to take bribes. One who's too Congolese to let us die. In his farewell letter to us, our hero, Patrice Emery Lumumba, said these inspiring words: "I know that my country, which suffers so much, will know how to defend its independence and its liberty. These words are more relevant now than they've ever been before, because we are the people we've been waiting for. Beloved, our children and our children's children, they will ask us, what have we done when our country was occupied? But today we have a meeting with history, a challenge we will meet with bravery. Now stand up. Stand up like one strong nation hungry for change, like the proud sons of Simon Kimbangu that we all are. Can you feel it? Can you feel the breeze of the Arab Spring? The whisper of hope from Tunisia in Egypt that can be heard from the hills of Goma to the streets of Kinshasa. By participating monetarily, we are making a symbolic gesture, testament to our enduring patriotism, one that will carry with it our anger, our frustrations, and our hopes. Let us raise hundreds of millions of dollars. Let us raise so much money that the world will have to take notice. Well, I have given 10% of the assets of my aircraft company to this cause, to the Congolese National Fund. Because no matter what happens on December 6th, Kabila must go. He must go. He must know that we now have the means to defend ourselves. He must know that we now will prosecute him for the death of our fallen heroes. Floribert Chebeya, Armand Tungulu, and all of those who have not enjoyed the same publicity. Congo under a responsible leadership is a country that will take its place in Africa, one with a strong Republican army that protects and defends its people, one that promotes agriculture and reinvent farming, one that boldly joined the climate change conversation, one that encouraged foreign investors and secure their assets while protecting the Congolese worker, a Congo that is ruled by laws and not personalities. A message to the United Nations and member of the Security Council. Men, women, and children are being tortured, detained and murdered by the Kabila regime. The Congolese people have shown dignity and courage in their pursuit of justice, dying for the same values your institution is supposed to stand for. The question for you is clear. Will you stand with the Congolese people, or will you stand with our oppressors? Now it's time for the Security Council to stand with the Congolese people. You have to know that Kabila has no intention of allowing free and fair elections. Just last week, we have uncovered 3 million ballots filled out for him in South Africa. To our American friends, we say this: we call on you to be on our side. Although we know our common history is tainted with wrongs that we have to forgive you, but also forgive ourselves for the many we have lost to the brutal slave trade. We call on you to be the friend we have faithfully been to you. Stand by the very people that helped you end the Second World War, the same friend that stood by you throughout the Cold War. I am, however, forever grateful for all that you have given me. I came here and I have learned your language. Thanks to your generosity, I and many of my fellow Congolese have built lives for ourselves. And for that, we say thank you. But as wonderful as your country actually is, one that gave me a beautiful wife from California and 4 wonderful sons, and the freedom I never enjoyed anywhere else, the Congolese in me yearns for taking the values I've learned here and take them home. So join us. Join us in this fight for freedom. Help us reclaim our dignity, because a strong Congo can be the beacon of hope for Africa that you are for the world. We are longing for the freedom you helped Libya fight for. We are longing for the hopes that Tunisia was granted. Now, to our foes, to Kabila's backers, we ask this fundamental question. Where is it written that to benefit from our country, our mothers have to cry? Whoever said that the path to our resources has to be covered in our blood? It is a lie. A heinous lie that was told long ago by those who never bothered to ask. We are an enlightened and clever people. Clever enough to understand our plight. Smart enough to understand the balances of power. There is another way. One that you never tried before. Because a peaceful and stable Congo could be everything you wish for. A land where your business and prosperity flourishes. But you have to allow yourself to try, so that we won't have to die. My brothers and sisters, if we do what we must do, if we put our money where our mouth is, then I have no doubt that all across the world, the thunder of the Congolese independence will ring. Free at last, free at last. Our people are counting on us. Our people cannot afford another 5 years of the same, another 5 years without electricity, education, security, proper health care for the victims of rape. So join us by contributing as little as $1. This money will help our candidate, and if need be, if Libya and Tunisia becomes the path of the Congo, then at least it will find us ready for it. Don't wait. Act now. Don't wait until tomorrow as the enemy is not. Don't wait until tomorrow as history will not. Don't wait until tomorrow as the Congo cannot. Good night.